Yo, 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 what is up, my peeps? It's your main man, Cop here. We are back with another awesome stream for you today. We're going to be stepping into some more Mythic Plus as a brewmaster and attempting to get my first 20 done in time with my good buddy Metro here along for the ride. How you doing today, bud?
Hey there guys, it's Metro, and today I'm back with Cop, and we're going to be having a look at his first 20 in time. This is a big moment for this whole situation we put ourselves in. We've been talking about this for probably over a month now. You know, obviously 20s are a lot easier than they have been in the past, but it's still a really adequate challenge, especially for somebody who's tanking in their first season ever as a pug tank. So yeah, we'll be back with that today. Tell them what key you got there.
I have a junkyard. 20 junkyard in my bags, so... Whew.
Yeah, that one, I've heard that one's a good key. What do you think?
I think it's pretty decent. I'm still having a lot of trouble clicking on the bots. But I kind of, if I'm going to try and get a first 20 in time, I might just not. You know, like, try once and then go on from it. You know, just to keep the pace of the dungeon quick.
Yeah, just don't let it slow you down at the end of the day. But honestly, you should probably just go in there on Mythic 0 and practice clicking on them, because that's not really something that you should fail to do. Just like a lot of the problems we have, we kind of overcomplicate really, really easy things. So I wish you'd spend a little bit more time practicing those. But at the end of the day, it's not really going to cause any problems for the key. You know, we just got to make sure. The big thing is the end boss. The end boss is always going to be the hardest boss in here. Hardest boss really in the game right now. And if people can one-phase it, then it's very, very easy. But people always end up lusting on the wrong boss. And then you have a lot harder time one-phasing it. And really, any deaths along the way is usually the nail in the coffin for that. So,
well, in order to facilitate not, bricking the key, what do you say we do like a practice 18 or something just to get me back in the?
Yeah, see if you could find a lower key of it. Yeah, good idea. Got plenty of time to practice. Probably got like 3, maybe 4 keys time today. So, see what's out there is junkyard.
Yep. See. Yeah. I'll sign up to this.
Signing up as DPS again. Yeah.
I did do some practice runs last night. Like I got a few done as in the Kara.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Actually, really good. Like. It's weird what people do in that in 15s because they pull 2 of the ads on Moreau's all the time.
No, really.
I didn't
Yeah,
think that was optimal.
nah, well, it's yeah. If you can do it, you pull all four, obviously, but it's incredibly dangerous, high
Yeah,
risk. The problem is
I
on the lower keys, it dies so fast that you can't get them down quick enough, and ends up causing problems.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely felt it, even as a DPS. Like I was very much at risk, even
No,
just
yeah,
standing.
depending on which two as well. Like if you got the whirlwinding guy,
Yeah, people
that'd
were
be pretty bad.
pulling the Iron Whirlwinding guy a lot.
Well, you got to kill that guy, but usually, yeah, he's the most dangerous one.
Well, especially
Typically,
when
if you
he's
have
with
multiple melee.
the one that you always tell me to pull. That was the common thing. They were pulling the Whirlwind guy and the guy you would tell me to pull. So,
Yeah, it's silly.
yeah.
Just taking risk for no reason.
The routes are also a little different, I find.
No, I can imagine, yeah.
Like, they clear out that whole hallway in between Moreau's and the stairway leading to, what's her pickle there? The final one.
Oh yeah, copy's right. You can't. You never switch your whatever your loading screen thingy.
Oh, sorry guys, sorry. Thanks, High Lord. Oh.
Mhm.
But yeah, they clear that whole hallway before they start clearing the Moreau's room. And oftentimes I've seen them clear like all the trash before they do any boss past the theater boss, and then they'll go to attunement first, and then Moreau's, and then up to
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you saw this as well. 3 bosses in a row. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah.
People were talking about that on my stream. What is going on there? That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you waste so much time running back and forth?
Yeah, but I mean, we plus 2'd them all, but I mean, there were packs where I was doing 60k DPS as a Windwalker too, so, and I wasn't even spec'd for AoE. I mean...
Oh yeah, that dungeon's good at inflating your overall. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not logical. Like, I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I'd love to hear, like, somebody who does it, why they do it. I feel like it's one of those things that it's just caught on for no reason. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
It's like one of those things that, like, somebody saw somebody do at the Mythic Plus thingamadoohickers there, and ever since people just started doing it because that's what they saw.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do that in a high... That's what I'm saying. Like, in a key where every second counts, you can't afford to be running back and forth like that. That's a long dungeon to be running around.
Yeah, absolutely. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it.
Like, what they said to me was that they killed Moreau's, and then they cleared all the trash to attunement, and then all the trash to maiden, and then went back to attunement. Is that what you did?
No, we killed all the trash basically to maiden, all the Moreau's trash, all the attunement trash, then killed attunement, then killed Moreau's, then killed maiden. It was weird.
You actually went into the hallway with Maiden and then didn't fight the boss? Is that what you're saying?
No. We didn't go actually up the stairs. I should clarify. We didn't go up the stairs. Like, we had, like, almost enough count by the time we got to that hallway. It was weird because there was nothing in between.
Oh, so you're just way over count.
Yeah, there was nothing between attunement, Moreau's, and Maiden until we hit that staircase. So...
I'm lost. But anyway, yeah, that's fine. Someday I'll see it, I guess. But yeah, somebody in my stream told me the other day that they basically cleared the Maiden and then went to attunement and then ran back to Maiden. It's like, whoa, okay, that's like a minute and a half of running for no reason. I mean, I don't understand it. I have to see it someday, I guess.
I plan on doing more practice keys, and I probably will stream them tomorrow. So
definitely would love to see you do some practice keys as a tank, though, because our big problems are all tank related.
Yeah.
Go ahead and open up the group finder too, please.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't even thinking about that.
It's taking a really long time to fill up. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's like that dungeon has a lot of different ways you can go, so
yeah,
it's not really gonna... You're not gonna really learn anything about that dungeon doing it as a DPS.
You're right, for sure. I think I kept getting the same tank because it was always a Demon Hunter tank.
Oh, yeah.
The first group I did it with didn't even realize that there was a death skip other than me and the tank.
Yeah, it's probably not common in the lower keys. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if it's common anywhere. I just think it's the best route because it's a lot easier to like that trash in the middle is such a wild thing for a pug. Like it's so easy to die there, and if you die there, it's a ridiculous run back. Like it is ridiculous. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather just skip it. Plus, it's a lot easier to get count in the middle area than it is that first that like under the stage.
100, absolutely 100%. But my rating is now very close to 2200.
Yeah, that's cool.
I did get like 60 score from doing that.
I thought so. Yeah, you had no 15 at all on Tyrannical, right? Is that right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Yo, brother! Thanks for the support. Much appreciated.
What's the best healer for Mythic Plus?
Blood Death Knight.
Monk, Brewmaster Monk, yeah.
Brewmaster Monk. So I'm gonna go basically up here and get these two bots up here first, and then head down that way towards Gunk.
Yeah. So since this is a practice run, I'm gonna just not even. I'm just gonna pretend I'm not here. Okay. And if you have a question, you could ask, but I won't guide you through this one at all, and we'll get you, as much practice as possible without me telling you exactly what to do. And if there's anything you need throughout the dungeon, I'll absolutely say something about it. But yeah, just practice doing this dungeon like I'm not here, and then the next dungeon I'll be able to help you more, and it'll be a more guided route.
For sure. Ooh, we got our party filled. Let's get stuff going here.
Just because I'm going to forget, but biggest thing I could say about when we do this dungeon for real, we do not want a priest. Very, very likely to die on some of these bosses. So pretty much anything shaman or paladin would be great. But yeah, they're the ones that I always have the most trouble with in here because they're so likely to die. And the healer dies, it's a huge issue in this dungeon. But just something to keep in mind for the next one.
Gotcha.
Pretty much like the bulkiest group. Like if you could just take 5 or 4 paladins, you know what I mean? That would probably be the best way to actually do this dungeon because it's all about just not dying in this dungeon.
I get you. Yeah, I was quite happy. I finally got enough valor to upgrade my one-handed weapons, so I'm dual wielding again, which is nice.
Oh, cool.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What do you think of Marvel delaying their schedule and delaying Blade infinitely or indefinitely?
Prevent my father from eradicating all organic life.
Oh, crap.
To gain entry into his subterranean fortress city.
Shockwave. Shockwave.
So mad at myself right now.
Shockwave.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that if you did a little bit more keys as a tank, you would have no issue with.
Shockwave.
You're right, 100% you're right.
Because that is like that's like not that's not ridiculous to have that pull. You just got to see where it is in the patrol and know where to get off that platform at. I've done it myself many times.
I was thinking about it too, right? Like, Getting caught on stuff.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Shockwave.
I guess to answer your question, Theo, I don't know. It's not something I ever consider with Marvel movies.
Must be located within that slime.
Are you a big fan of Blade or something? Why did you even bring that up?
I do like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I will admit
okay.
that.
Required. Assistance protocol activated.
Who's your favorite actor in it?
Probably Ryan Reynolds, and he's only just in it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I don't need to run from this.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. Wait, who is he now?
He's Deadpool.
Oh, that's Marvel?
It's Marvel now. Marvel bought out Fox.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Huh, that's interesting.
Interrupt. Run.
Yeah, he's great as Deadpool. That like really, that's a hell of a story. You know about that story, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, the stuff getting leaked.
Yeah, like the intentional leak almost, yeah.
System restored.
Interesting.
Moving to contamination site.
Producers are really, or like executives, I guess, are really handcuffing this industry, man. It's kind of crazy. There's so many good films and things, and I see this even with like Game of Thrones and stuff. Like, they're talking about all these things they cut out because they needed to make 10 episodes. It's like, come on, man. Like, tell these fucking people that this is one of the most popular shows ever. Like, just make 20 episodes, dude. Like, what's the difference? I don't understand. Why do these like executives want to make the show worse? I don't understand.
It's been that way for decades too. Like one of my favorite shows of all time, Doctor Who, suffered from that, you know, back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, it's just kind of strange. It's like these people who are supposed to be the money men of the organization are the ones that are actually making it the worst product it can be. Very odd.
Interrupt.
Wolverine will be in the next Deadpool. That's interesting.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, and that was a big part of the merger, I guess, huh?
Yeah, again, it's that's all the X-Men stuff was owned by Fox, because
Yeah.
in like I think it's like the late 80s, early 90s, Marvel was dying. This is before the cinematic universes and movies and all that stuff. So they sold the rights to their most popular stuff, like the X-Men and Spider-Man and all that stuff, to
Charging. Move.
different companies. That's why Sony owned Spider-Man. That's why Fox owned X-Men.
Yeah, that's interesting. I forgot about all of that. Yeah, because when Ryan Reynolds, when they go to the mansion, there's just like a bunch of non-actual X-Men there, right? I think it's in the first film or something like that.
Yeah.
'Cause they didn't have the rights to any of the actual X-Men, right? Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's how it works. I guess you got to make money.
Required. Sanitation required.
Absolutely.
Interrupt. Charging. Move.
Sanitation required.
Run. Charging.
Sanitation
Move.
required.
Yeah, they use the cheapest possible X-Men. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he even makes a joke of why there's no X-Men in the mansion, and you see all the X-Men behind the door.
Yeah.
Sensors recalibrated. Massive toxicity levels detected.
I thought Hugh Jackman retired from
did.
Wolverine's role, though.
He did, but oh, I'm missing one. Crap. Or did I miss one?
Oh, you didn't pull the third one, yeah.
Crap, I'm completely lost.
What do you mean? Just go back to where you were. You just didn't pull it. We were standing right next to it.
Oh, I thought I stood it.
Sanitation required.
You only pulled 2. Yeah, pulled 3.
I know, but I couldn't remember where the one I missed was.
No. Yeah, the third one's I was just in this big water area.
Yeah, I remember now. I just didn't realize I had missed that one.
Error. Mobility compromised.
Yeah, oh Jesus. To be fair, it was actually really strange. I've never fought the second one in that pat rotation. Like, that's not normal. Something weird about how everything played out, I guess.
Sanitation required.
Don't know why the healer died there, but
Yeah, so those no-meeting globules, whatever they're, no-meeting slimes, I think they're called, they do a ton of damage. So anytime they're fought, they're going to split into even more ones that also do a ton of damage. Now, to be honest, this is very, very difficult to keep threat on them all because they constantly do it. But that would be one time to really keep an eye on that and help stun and stuff to get them off the healer. It's really common that the healer gets all those on him.
gotcha.
Of course, as a priest, they have no reason to die to it. They just sat there and let them melee them instead of knock them away or fade or something. As we're on priests, you can only do so much. Actually, I don't know if that's accurate, but...
Global Zero. Come on, Cop. Remember Global Zero.
Watch your step.
Well, yeah, especially on a boss like that, you know, when you're sitting there waiting for the boss to engage. That's the time to put things like D&D or Rushing Jade Wind up. Basically, you're trying to find some productivity for the upcoming boss before the boss starts. I mean, you could do this as every role in the game, too. Like, even the DPS could find something like that. And healers, too, especially, like, if you can put up bots before combat, then they'll, you know, stay on and tick over when the boss starts.
Gotcha.
It used to be a thing all the time back in the day, pre-hotting the tank as, like, a Resto Druid or a Holy Priest. Just, like, spam hots on the tank to make sure the second he took damage, he was instantly healed up.
Nice.
Watch your step.
Yeah, the Warlock's pretending he's actually Eisen from the Bleach series. You ever watch it?
I've heard of this Bleach series you talk about.
Yeah. I think it's something about laundry. I never really watched it. Oop. It's actually good, to be honest. I don't really like anime, but
Special coming.
Slide got
Yeah.
me into it a long time ago, and I actually... Pretty good. The thing that sucks about anime, man, it's just so much nonsense that goes on in these episodes. They could
So
really cut
much
these
filler.
episodes down into like 15 minutes each instead of...
Now we go to the middle.
With that creature neutralized, I can deactivate the node.
Eisen is that's the character in Bleach. That's what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
Probably a common Japanese name, I guess. A lot of these characters just have like standard Japanese names. So.
Appears to be changing course. Looks like it's headed for Scrapbone Den. Stay out of its sight.
Guess we're not going to Scrapbone Den
Assistance protocol.
Why not?
because the thing is headed there. You just said the HK thing is headed to Scrapbone Den.
AOE incoming.
Okay, yeah. Didn't think you were going there anyway, but you're right.
Usually we go to the scrapyard after we are... Oh no! Am I getting names mixed up again?
Yep.
Aren't I?
You are.
God, I swear.
Shockwave. AOE incoming.
Well, we can go in the back way then.
There appears to be a power node within the vicinity of the scrapyard.
What have we here? Your boats must be lost.
Run.
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up.
I would watch some of the longer form shows if I can get to like the first 1,000 episodes at a breakneck speed. Yeah, that's the problem. These shows have like 40 seasons as well. Like it's literally hundreds and hundreds of episodes to watch now. I don't know, I can't really do that. Like even like a show like Game of Thrones, I don't think I could rewatch it now. It's just like that's like 10 hours, you know? It's like that's gonna take me forever to watch that. I don't.
Run.
And then it almost becomes like, oh, I just want to get through these as fast as I can, you know? And then you don't really respect each episode as much.
Yeah.
So it just kind of cheapens the whole thing.
Shockwave.
I can only ever like rewatch shows like that. Like I used to do that with Dragon Ball all the time. I would just rewatch it over and over again and just not even really pay attention. Just like kind of wait for the interesting parts to happen.
Shockwave.
Yeah, there's always lots of filler too. Like there's 20, 30 episodes of Bleach that you can just skip because they're not in the manga anyway. Yeah, filler is. I think there's like I remember Saish on a website a while back about a website that just like tells you what episodes are filler and which ones you could skip and everything.
Well, people pulled extra, and I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not really an acceptable way to enter that room. I've tried this many times, and there's just no way to do this. It's way too difficult because that pat it's gonna aggro. There's no way you can stop it. So you'd either have to like pull them out hardcore, or you have to basically you did what you should have did, but it's just still extremely unlikely to work. But now that Zolgamux, this is actually you can solve it now at least. Once Zolgamux stops the patrol, then it's a lot easier.
Shockwave.
Yeah, that pack in the middle is like the most dangerous in the game right now, so definitely want to come in that left side instead.
Yeah, it's just once I had screwed up, I was like, well...
Yeah, you can always just go back and come in the correct side. No reason to make two mistakes, you know? One mistake, it's enough. We can move on from it. Where's the quote? A man who doesn't fix his first mistake has made a second mistake.
Sounds about right.
Dragon Balls are horrible examples, though. They do so much monologuing. Yeah, not in the original. I'm talking about Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. I don't really enjoy Dragon Ball Z or anything new about it, but yeah, the old one, the original show where Goku's a kid, it's like probably my favorite actual show like ever, besides like, you know, HBO shows. Definitely my favorite non-HBO show ever.
Watch your step.
Yeah, he's right.
I have many, many wares.
I'm having the worst first dungeon ever.
Yeah, this is all just stuff that would be solved if you did more keys as a tank.
You're right.
It's a lesson you'll learn once and you'll never need to learn it again. You don't ever come in this right side.
Of course, these are the ones without an aggro table, and I'm trying to aggro them.
Tub says Bleach, the original Bleach is 45% filler. What the fuck? Is that serious? What the hell? Holy shit. I remember you and Sai got me into it a long time ago, and I remember watching it in like a 3-day period. I just watched the whole thing, and it was... I don't really remember too much that I didn't enjoy, but... Yeah, he was talking about it because... Damn, I'm sorry we did that to you. Wait, why? Sai's there too. No, we were just
There
talking
you
about
go,
it
that's
because
what I
the guy is Eisen in the Warlock is doing like he keeps spamming Bong Tai every time he pops his CDs. This is back when we used to play League all the time. Those days, man, those were funny days.
Don't even mention that addiction-bearing thing to Siler. He'll go back
shit,
into
I'm sorry,
it.
yeah. He'll be back in it. Bleach peaked right at the start. Interesting. I mean, I don't even. Is it still like going on? I haven't watched it in like 10 years, probably. I don't know what's going on with that world anymore. That's back when Psy streamed every day. Remember those days, Cop?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this was the best.
Yep. Oh, it did actually just return, Psy says. Interesting. I don't think I've ever watched the original Dragon Ball. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z was airing. Yeah, I mean, me too. Yeah, same here. I didn't even know about the original Dragon Ball. The only reason I even knew about it was because in Dragon Ball Z, there's a bunch of, like, flashbacks kind of thing. And they're, like, to times when it was, like, a much different animation style and, like, quality as well. So it's really out of place when they do the Dragon Ball flashbacks of Dragon Ball Z. And I'm like, what the hell is this show? What is this that I'm watching right now? And I looked into it, and I'm like, oh, they did a previous show. What the hell? So that's how I found out about it. Yeah, dude, the original Dragon Ball is like my favorite thing. Like I said just before, like my favorite like adult like anime or anything that's not like HBO with, you know, all kinds of stuff. So it's just like really, really, really compelling, and the characters are so fun. Like I just love them.
Yeah, I feel that way, and this is kind of embarrassing about Sailor Moon. If it's not Sailor Moon, it's not anime to me. You know, because at the time when it came out, I was working at a pizza restaurant, and I would get home at like 4, sometimes 5 a.m., and that was what would be on. That would be like the only thing that was on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they always had it on really late at night, right?
Yeah.
Shockwave. Shockwave.
Oh.
AOE incoming. Shockwave.
Upgrading this key, and it's entirely my fault.
Incoming.
You'd be surprised, dude. You got 27 minutes left.
Shockwave.
Wait, I'm confused. I can never figure out this thing. You got
16.
16 minutes left, yeah. But yeah, Ghoulish is right. This is the dungeon that can fall apart the easiest.
AOE
It's all because the shock bots. The shock bots are why it's so easy. Without the shock bots, it's actually a very hard dungeon. It has some very difficult bosses in it.
Shockwave.
And it's tyrannical.
Yep.
I have many lucky doos.
Chubb says, I'm not really a fan of this dungeon, even though most people love it. Yeah, they love it for the wrong reasons, I find. I think a dungeon like Streets is a way easier key, for pugging especially. Okay, so let's see if I can do this, because I want to show you some things that I definitely think we can learn from. I think if I screen share my stream, then you can watch it on yours.
Should be able to.
See if I can figure that out real quick.
I'm so mad at myself right now. But apparently...
Well, there's a lot of easy ways to solve this, man. We just got to get a little bit more focused up on what's important and play the game more often. These
Yeah.
are the big things that are making these mistakes. Like, you wouldn't make these mistakes if this wasn't the first time you did Junkyard in 2 weeks,
You're right.
Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. I don't...
Apparently, IR really sucks.
What's that?
Apparently, I really suck.
Oh,
Or as
the guy
God-
whispers you?
I
Yeah,
are
I mean-
you are really sucks. He's right.
Tom, shut the fuck up. You're from Azralan. But to be honest, dude, I mean, he's entirely right. He did
No,
some
he is.
ridiculous mistakes in there.
I did.
Don't understand what's going on here. It doesn't... Can I just square it? Okay, there we go. Alright, can you see my...
I think I can. Let me
My
pop that
feed.
up to full screen.
And can the stream see it, is the other question.
Oh, I can see it. I can see you. Okay.
Well, I know that. Yeah.
Oh, well, I just can see you. Let me add a source. Display capture. Oh, wait. I might be able to... I might already have that. Give me a second here. Not main monitor. Let's add secondary monitor. Add existing.
Yeah, and somebody's come out in defense of you. BD Vam Queen says, I mostly keep to myself and just stream and just stealth watch you, but I gotta say you have improved a lot from the first tanking video, and you still have a lot of room to improve. Just wanted to say good work. And I do agree, one way or the other, regardless of these mistakes, it's important to recognize the facts that not even 1 month ago, you were not even capable of doing a 15, let alone an 18,
Yeah.
And so these problems that we have are very, very, very easily solved. Like, this is so easy to solve, it's unreal. It's just you just get reps and you get better at these types of things. Like, the mistakes that we made in the last 2 keys are not real mistakes. They're just things that you put yourself in the position of, so.
Yeah. Okay. I
Okay.
think they can see you now.
All right, cool. Let's just get a look at it. So, right out of the gate, okay, yeah, so I'm going to show you what you made the mistake on here. So you see they're padding towards us right now. Actually, they're padding right. They basically just stopped padding towards us. They're gonna stop. You see this like weird little mechanical thing that's like broken over there. It's gonna form a straight line between that and where you are right now. Okay, that's where the patrol stops. So what you want to do is this like little. It's like a Tesla coil thing to your left. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to hop over that. That's how you do it. So instead of going straight out of here, you basically bump into this Tesla coil and this little plate, this like weird little plate on the left here, and then they won't be able to aggro no matter where they are in that patrol route, okay?
That's what I thought I did. But, yeah,
No,
you're
not,
right.
not even close. So you walk kind of straight through the middle there, and as they're
Oh,
patrolling
yeah.
back.
That's what I was
Yep.
trying to do in any case.
Yeah, so you basically want to like carve your body off that thing. Like you want to freaking cut your skin on it, you know what I mean? That's how close you want to get to it. Okay, so that was the first mistake, which didn't really cause a real issue. Then I would say the second mistake is this here. We grab these and we just sit here and tank them for no real reason. Like they don't do anything and they're just a complete waste of time. You're only pulling these as a courtesy. You don't even really need to pull these. It's just a courtesy to the players so they can get the shock bots.
Gotcha.
So we're going to get these two and then we're just going to combine these into the next pack down here, okay, which is this one here. And so that's going to make for a much more efficient first pull. Now, to be fair, in this exact dungeon, our first pull was actually a missed pull, so people probably use their CDs there anyway. But regardless, in a clean pull, we do want to have those all combined into one so people can use their CDs and more accurately.
Okay.
Okay, and then down here, I wouldn't really say that this was an issue, but yeah, that slime elemental, we do want to get that thing as fast as possible. So try to get there a little bit quicker. But yeah, if it doesn't aggro, just be ready to aggro it when it comes in. Then, of course, we do the... we forget to get the guy here. I think you recognize that obviously very clearly. And that was kind of odd. Like I said, it's kind of strange. I'd never really see this guy in this position here. This is a really, really strange time for this boss to be or this mini boss to be where he is. But yeah, ultimately you see down on the bottom left here, this no meaning slime has not been pulled by you. it's going to aggro one way or the other. So that is what causes a lot of problems in this area. These mobs here, these are the most dangerous mobs in the area. So you've got to know where they are, and you got to know when and where they're going to aggro. Because this thing is absolutely, it doesn't need to be just a gnome. It will eat any priest, you know. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably what you thought. Yeah, you thought it was only on gnomes. But yeah, so no, those things are going to cause havoc, and then of course these guys are just idiots, and they get hit by the debuff from the boss, which is this is the kind of thing that makes me crack up, though, right?
Yeah.
These guys are talking shit about you, and this guy says, "I didn't cloak fast enough." Okay, or you could just move away. Like, what are you talking about? You didn't cloak fast enough. You could just move. Like, yeah, you did a couple things there. But then, okay, so then obviously at this point, you just kind of forgot about that. That's not a mistake you'll ever make again now. And then the boss, you're very, 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 very close to getting gooped multiple times. In fact, I'm shocked that it didn't happen. I'm shocked it only happened the one time here. The way this boss actually works is, even if you're in the water, if you get hit by the dead center of one of the swirls, you will still get gooped, even inside the water.
Mm-hmm.
So we always want to be moving away from those swirls when that leeway is needed. And obviously, I think ultimately when you get gooped, you're just too close to the boss. That's another thing I noticed. You're very, very close to this boss. If you come in contact with any of the green stuff underneath him, you'll get gooped. And even on DPS, I've saw you do this. It's like a miracle that it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, right there. That was where I thought you were going to actually get gooped. But luckily, you just missed it. So that was good. That would have been a wipe. And then I think it happens coming up here.
Yeah, he was very low when I got gooped.
Yeah. And I don't remember exactly.
I'm in the middle of the watcher thing, which is why I thought it was safe when I got gooped.
Oh, yeah, no, you accidentally move out of it. You see that? Let's watch it again. Yeah, so you kind of just move. A lot of redundant movements. You just move right out of the edge of it. You just a lot of redundant movements, and you do this with Windwalker too, so I'm not really sure, what's happening there with your hands, but I would just say, like, if you can cut down on the redundant movements, you'll be a much better player.
Yeah.
And as a tank, it can punish you. Like, that mistake is going to happen as Windwalker 2. It's the exact same. But in a tank situation now, the boss is attacking someone else, so you got lucky that could have easily been a full wipe there.
Yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And now, so this mistake here, this is obviously what bankrupts the key. Do you think that this was because, see, like, to me at first, I thought you were letting these people lead you around the dungeon, and what they're doing here is going around this crawler.
Yeah.
And was that what caused this, or was it actually because you thought Scrapbone Den was the middle one? Is that
that's what started it? And then when the talking head popped up, I was like, oh, that must be why he's doing that. So then I started to move towards Gunker, or not to whatchamacallits.
Yeah, so the middle one's called Bondo's Yard, and Scrapbone Den is the far right one.
Yeah, with King Jobbermack, yeah.
But the thing is, this is again what I'm talking about, like, if you just did this, there's only the 3 iterations, so once you know what one you have, you don't need to listen to the RP, so like, that shouldn't confuse anybody, you should know that.
Normally I don't listen to the RP, but I was wondering what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't click the RP off soon enough. And I was like, oh, that, it's just like the two connected in my head.
And that's, that confidence in movement is really, really, really crucial as a tank. And it's definitely one thing that I think you struggle with mightily. And it's because you don't really know the dungeons very well yet. But, that happened in the Iron Docks too, where we let these players just kind of walk all over us. They're the ones that are leading the group, and that's not going to work. Regardless of if they're right or wrong, it can't happen. As a tank, you have to be in control of where the group is and isn't. And if you let them try to lead you, it's going to cause a lot of problems. And this happens to me too all the time. But, that's the confidence that is needed for a pug tank, and it's one that can only be built with repetitions. Yeah. But anyway, here, we can actually get away with this pull on this key level on non-fortified, but this is probably... When I laughed when I saw this, I almost laughed out loud because this is like suicide. Like you pulled a suicide packer. You're never gonna survive this on any fortified key. This is gonna just destroy you. But there's not a lot of options here. This is a really complicated way to enter this room, and at this rate, you kind of just should have just turned around. Like there's no way that you're getting through this because that aggro's simply because the mobs are running around. And we actually have that same mistake happen again here. Let's get past this now, and you'll see the same thing happen over here. We did the exact same thing we did. Yeah. The redundant movements caused the mobs to move too close. So we're pulling this... I better the cursor. Okay, yeah. So we're pulling this this pack here, and it's perfectly fine to pull this. I pull this all the time. Obviously, it's easier as blood decay, but what we want those scrappers to do is we want them to funnel into the left. But because you're redundantly moving towards the right, they funnel in towards the right, and then they backpedal into the trash. And so this is, again, a very, very solvable problem. You just don't ever want to go to the right of where we are right now, and you'll see it happen here. The mobs start moving to the right, and then you kind of move even further to the right, which causes them to move away from you, and now they're over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that's not obvious, we can look at it again. So these guys always they do like a disengage almost, right?
Yeah.
So when you get close to them, they're going to try to get away from you. And so by you getting closer to them on the right side, it forces them to move further right. And watch it. You see it here, you know?
Yeah.
So if you just stayed at the distance, like you got to put up a wall for yourself there. You got to know I cannot go any closer to this. That mob will not aggro where it originally was. And unless somebody runs over there themselves and pulls it, it's not going to cause this issue. This is a problem that is just going to come with experience and just kind of like almost like spatial awareness a little bit more.
Yeah.
But at that point, as soon as that mob was over there, it's over. I don't know how it hasn't aggroed yet. Very surprising. I'm not actually sure what ultimately aggroes it, but it just randomly aggroes, and then that's the key right there. So, but all of this, probably 50% of what we just looked at, can be avoided by simply not going into the right side of the room, and that hopefully, obviously, won't ever happen again. Now that you've seen that,
I think one of the things I get baited by almost every time I'm in here is the mobs that don't have an aggro table. I always get into thinking I need to go and grab them because they show up red, and yeah.
Okay, well, I know how to solve that for you. We need to get target of target turned on. I'm surprised you don't have it on. Let me close this, but yeah. So that's what we need, 100%, and we got to get that turned on before the next key.
Okay. Hang on, let's exit full screen. And I will go and turn off the secondary monitor.
Yeah, Tubb says it true, man. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't even try to improve with the anxiety you have. I definitely wouldn't be able to do it. And he's right, man. Like, yeah, this is all really impressive one way or the other, but we can do even better. So I'm trying to push you towards that.
Absolutely. So how do I turn on target of target? Because I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, interface.
Don't even know where that is.
Where's my phone?
Interface. And
it's in there. Just have a look. I gotta get my phone. I don't know where it is.
okay, found it. Z hype. Decoy. I got KSM long time ago. What we're trying to do now is we're trying to push 20s and get my first 20 ever in time. Ever in the history of World of Warcraft, we're trying to get my first 20 in time, and it's an uphill battle, but we definitely are.
What happened?
I was just talking to the chat there.
Oh, cool. All right, I'm back.
Okay, I got target of target. I don't know what that does, though.
No, target yourself, and you'll see what it does.
Okay.
Maybe you have to target somebody else, I guess. Yeah, there you go. You see?
Oh, interesting.
So when you are chasing these mobs around, you'll realize what's actually happening. You know, like if you can't tell what their target is, then it'll start to become a little bit harder to tell when things are on, like when things are actually important to have threat.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so up to you. We have a big moment ahead of us. Do we want to go right into the 20, or do we want to maybe try that key one more time?
I want to do that key right at least once before I go into the 20. So let's pug again.
Okay, cool. Still have about 2.5 hours, so plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm really trying to respect your time, but I need to get one of these done right before I go into it.
No, I agree. This is the right choice.
Let's just sign up to this. Looking for tank heals. Yeah, I didn't even realize that either. See?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like not optional when you're tanking. I didn't even realize you had it off.
didn't
But like,
realize.
there's times when mobs are like trees or rock ellie are taunting the mobs, and you're like running around trying to grab them still. And I think that that one
That'll
certainly
help for
gets solved.
sure.
Yeah, because now you'll know that they're on the rock ellie. It's like, oh, that's not a mob that I need to get thread off.
For sure, for sure. Shake it off.
Yeah, there's another good point from Virhari. A lot of people have used weak ores, myself included, to loop into the target feature to know when casts are targeting you on raid bosses and stuff. Really important in the past. I don't really feel like it's been that important, but I remember in Legion it was like at its paramount of importance. Like every single mechanic in the game would actually target a player beforehand, and that was the only way you'd be able to survive a lot of things in Mythic Plus was knowing it was coming.
Gotcha. Yeah, Karazhan is one of those dungeons that I really regret not doing 5-mans in Legion.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because I would have a lot... Like, even Iron Docks, and even this one, I have a lot more awareness of stuff, but it's from a DPS perspective, so I understand the pathing. There's stuff that will always distract me. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummels. Like you.
Oh shit, you should have. Did you report that guy, by the way? I gotta start doing that more myself.
No. I didn't think that just telling me I suck was a reportable offense.
Yeah, it is nowadays. So make sure you do that.
Report player. Report a reason. Inappropriate communication.
Text
Text
chat.
chat. Report.
Gotta do that. Gotta do that work. Clean that up. Right or wrong, that's unacceptable.
Yep. Yep, ghoulish because of the social contract.
Oh my god, what is this group?
Well, it looks like we've got 3 monks, a demon hunter, and a death knight. Joy. Pump it
Yeah,
up.
we don't really need bloodlust.
Yeah, needs bloodlust. We've got monks. Whoever's key it is, I hope they brought drums. That's all I gotta say. 'Cause I'm not dexterous enough to use mine yet.
Oh yeah, it's the DKs as well. Not a good sign. I thought it was at least one of the monks, because then they'd be like, well, I like this class. Invite 3 of the same class to a key. It's like, wow, man. That's like some next level being clueless.
Monks are easy clap.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm told.
Is that a good thing? I never understood easy clap.
I think it means, like, easy upgrade.
Does it? I wouldn't even pull that one, honestly.
No?
No, that one doesn't need to get pulled. People can get by it. It's just slowing us down. Oh, it's a Twitch emote. Okay, that makes sense. I understand now. I understand why I don't understand.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Shockwave.
There's like I was thinking about it. It's like if something was truly easy, you wouldn't clap. It would be like, you know, second nature. You wouldn't react to something that was truly easy in a positive way like that.
Yeah.
A power power node must be located within that slime. You will have to sanitize the area in order to access it.
Sanitation required.
Charging. Move. Run.
On easy clap, then, I mean, it would make more sense at least. Yeah. Like if something like, let's put it this way. I can't even really come up with a great example, but baseball is on my mind. So let's say this: if somebody hits a home run, you're gonna clap, right? Like that's an impressive feat, no matter what. But if somebody like swings and like makes like ground out contact to the first baseman, it's like that's not clap worthy, right? Like that's the easy thing. You do that all the time. Like what about like in WoW? What would be like if you upgrade like a 5? Nobody's gonna clap for that, right? It's like okay, that's a 5. So that would be easy. Upgrading at 15 though, maybe it's a little harder. You might clap for that. Then I started to think like maybe it has to do with like people with disabilities, like they are not able to clap easily, and so now they can finally have a place where they can do it, something like that.
Like our former guildie there, who played with one hand.
Alto, right? Yeah.
Alto. I could never remember his name. I don't know why. And I always feel bad about it.
Diabolical would always say, "Alto, do me a favor, clap." He would get really mad at him. Easy clap literally looks a certain way. It's not about being easy. Looks a certain way. What does that mean? Yeah, even Tub remembers Alto, man. That's kind of sad, Cop. But actually, that's not even really sad because you never even played with him.
Yeah, it's true.
You were gone by the time Alto, or you were here, but you weren't here before Alto was gone.
No, it's true. I think I was here, but I was just the lurker listening to Skype chat.
Oh, really?
While you guys raided.
I don't know about that because I don't remember when Alto quit, but I'm pretty sure it was like Firelands or something. No, I think we got to Mop actually. Yeah. Oh, of course it was Mop. Yeah, because then Wad was when he had. Yeah, okay, of course. So I streamed it to like 16,000 people, and Alto has like a freaking fit in the middle of it. You heard that story, right?
I think so. Is that the one where? No, that's the one where Jesse had the fit.
Oh yeah, no. Let me tell you this. This is awesome. So Alto is like one of the best healers I've ever played with. Like legitimately, he's like much better than me, and we played the same class. And he only had one hand. He was born without a hand. He had an arm, but no hand. And so he was able to use like the wrist part of his hand to press keys, but it was not easy, obviously.
Absolutely.
So it's not like fully, he's not in super bad problems, but it's obviously easier when you have two hands, right? So anyway, this guy's like one of the best players I ever played with, consistently impressing me. We're playing the same spec for our whole lives, and I'm always really happy about that because he's such a good player that I can learn from inside the raid. He's almost like an inspiration in that way, right?
Yeah.
So randomly, this is like a big trickle-down effect for years later, but a bunch of officers stopped playing, and the few of us that are left, we decide there should be more officers. So he's one of the longest tenured players at the time. Been there for like 7 years at that point. So I was like, all right, Alto should be an officer. And so we had this happen 3 times, where we promote people from just like our friend Raider, basically to officer, and they just change. Like they become a hugely different person. Happened 3 times. And so he was probably the funniest one because when we do that, all of a sudden he's like looking at the game differently, and he's like, "I'm gonna switch roles." I was like, "What do you mean? You're gonna play Ret?" He goes, "No, not Ret. I'm gonna switch classes." I was like, "What?" So somebody without a hand is gonna go from only ever playing a healer in his life to start playing a ranged DPS. So he's playing a mage, and honestly, dude, this is like embarrassingly bad. Like he was like, this is like Siler's balance truth. This is bad. This is really bad, and none of us really knew how to say it to him. But I was just like, just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. It was right at the end of Mop that he switched. I was like, next expansion, it'll be better, right? Well, he gets like, I think there was a tornado or a hurricane or something like that. Yeah, it was a hurricane. So when WAD launches, there was a hurricane. He lives in Louisiana. So he was unable to play for like the first 2 weeks of WAD. So he comes back like basically the day raid opens, he has to level and get gear and then enter the raid. All right, so he's not raided, he's not played the class at all since the expansion launched. And so we go right into High Mall. Now in High Mall, for some reason, there was a serious issue with the servers. And only Fire Tree, and maybe there was another server, but the only one I'm aware of is Fire Tree. Only Fire Tree was up. It was the only realm that could raid. We were the only guild in the raid. Out of every single person who played World of Warcraft, it was just our guild in the raid. Because we were the only guild on Fire Tree that raided at 7 Eastern on Tuesday. Every other guild started at 8 or 9. So we are the only guild in the world doing this raid. And Siler is streaming it. He has 16,000 views because he is the only human being testing the raid, basically, in the raid, okay? And we're doing the first boss, which has a little tiger pit that if you walk into, you die. One shot. It eats you. The tiger eats you, okay? And this is not, like, you know, this existed today, I would use these words. This is not a mechanic, right? Like, you don't go into the tiger pit. It's not something that should ever happen, okay? So Elto, with, you know, his already drawbacks of having only one hand, the one thing that he did always struggle with was multi-directional movement, okay? So this was a perfect storm. Like, it couldn't be any more of a perfect storm for this to be a hard fight for him, especially considering he hasn't played for 2 weeks. And so we get him in there, and he blinks into that tiger pit, dude. He does it once, and we're like, okay, whatever. We res him, all right? He gets the res, he does it again. And I'm like, Elto, what the fuck? Like, I was like, probably mad at him, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, we'll talk about it after raid. Like, he screams at the top of his lungs while Siler is streaming to 16,000 people after blinking into the tiger pit twice on one pole. Oh my god, it was the funniest fucking thing ever, man. It was unbelievable. Like, that was just a legendary moment. And I'll never forget talking to him after raid. I'm like, dude, please stop playing this character. Like, do not play a mage. Why are you playing a mage? Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Panda was a mod for the stream, and he was, like, actually just trolling Sai the whole time. Oh, that was so funny. That was, like, one of the funniest moments of my WoW life, man.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
But then he keeps raiding with us for a good part of WoD, and just like he was like being less and less active, and obviously the whole moment probably didn't help, but yeah, he's being less and less active over the years, and then we're kind of relying on him because he's healing again now, so we're kind of relying on him, and he just kind of doesn't really show up very often. He's kind of just like distant, like this we've seen this many times, and I texted him. I was like, dude, can you get on tonight? Like, we were kind of like not really relying on him for a while there, but then there was one night I was like, we need you, dude. Can you get on? And he goes, yeah, I can. I'm just coming up my driveway now. Now, this is at like 7:05, okay? So raid's already started. And Vic's like, where's Elto? I was like, I texted him, dude. He says he's just getting in his driveway now. And Vic's like, well, you know, how long? I was like, I don't know. I mean, how long does it take to get in your driveway? I said it just like that. We sat there, 7:15. 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock. He never showed up. He never showed up, and I never talked to him again. I never talked to him again until Legion. He actually reappeared in Legion. But it was like, what the fuck did you, like, what happened? We talked about that for like 2 years after that. We're like, Elto, what happened, dude? You said you were coming. You said you're in your driveway. That's the longest driveway ever, or what? Like, what kind of driveway does he have?
Somewhere Elto's still in his driveway.
He's still on his He's still in the driveway. Yeah, that's what we talk about that all the time. That was the first thing when me and Todd Polk got together. We're like, man, I'm glad that you didn't have to drive up Elto's driveway to get here. Yeah, Tubb says it right, man. That and Jesse's freak out.
Oh.
Jesse's was more legendary, but only because there was no stress involved. Like, Elto's was like a tempered like stress moment, right? It was obvious that it was gonna happen. Because I was mad at him and he was mad at me, basically. But Jesse's, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, just comes out of nowhere.
I'm using Greater Healing Wave.
That was so funny, dude. And I think it was because a lot of people realized that he was getting carried. You know, even back then, it was just carry. And it was like, dude, the guy's, you know, he deserves to get carried. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was like pretty funny because
AOE incoming.
I'll never forget when, and this fight was his kryptonite too. Any fight that he had to actually solo heal a segment, he was horrible at. He was a good like AOE healer. Like
Yeah.
he was good at keeping healing rain down and you know chain heal basically. But he couldn't do shit besides that. And I think everybody knew that. And that's why Neff said what he said to him because he goes, "You have way more spells than healing than chain heal or whatever." I can't even remember what he says, but yeah, it's just like, and he's right to say that to him, but it just like really set him off. I guess it triggered something that we didn't know was building for like a month or probably more.
AOE incoming.
I'll never forget that, man. Because it sounds funny, and if you look at the clip now that's on Siler's YouTube channel, it looks like everybody's having a good laugh, but he wasn't. It wasn't funny to him. He was mad. And we were all just laughing at the fact that it happened, but in reality, it's like, that was him really, really mad.
AOE incoming.
The Jesse Cox one is on Siler's YouTube channel still, yeah.
Yeah.
The Alto one, I guess it would have been on Siler's Twitch, but I think he deleted all the VODs. I don't know how that works. But yeah, that Jesse moment is, it's just a funny clip of it happening, but like that one's just so strange because it just seems to come out of nowhere. If you guys don't know who Jesse Cox, he's like a million sub YouTuber now, but at the time he was like one of the bigger influencers for WoW, and I was in this moment where I was like, I bet the easiest way to make a guild is to have really popular people in it. So I was just like reaching out to all these people who were YouTubers to try to get them in the guilds. Oh yeah, Tub tried to link it, but he can't because YouTube's lame. Let me get it for you. 50K views, though. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing I can do about those ones.
Watch your step.
Oh, the latest comment was 9 months ago. It says, this might explain why Jesse doesn't even heal in Final Fantasy 14 now. It's funny because he was like a healer main. Like he was like a, you know, like I am a tank. Like that's all he did was heal. And after this, he stopped. Like he the next time he raided with us, he raided as Enhance. I'll never forget that too because I was like, can you heal? And he's like, oh no, I'm gonna play Enhance from now on. I was like, okay. It's like he was the healer. Like that was his role on YouTube, and everything he did was a healer. It was like really strange.
Shockwave.
Right, yeah, playing Enhance really, really poorly as well. But I mean, I'll never forget the first time he healed as a, or he played Enhance. He had a dagger, and it's like, I don't think you want a dagger as an Enhanced Shaman.
No. I mean, I'm sure there are agility daggers, but...
Well, of course there are. That's all there are, but... 10 years ago. Yeah, man. It's a long time ago. Yeah, that's what I'm actually going to be playing golf with somebody that I have not met in real life for 15 years tomorrow. How nuts is that?
Wow! That's awesome,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was 18 the last time I talked to this person.
That is so cool. I was thinking about that last night when I was doing dungeons. Old friends that I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, most of the people from that time in my life I don't really want to see again, but this was a very unique situation, so hopefully it'll be fun. Hopefully my game won't be awful.
I think you'll be fine, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know why you would think that.
Charging.
It won't matter, though. He's a pro golfer now, so...
He'll carry you.
Okay. Yeah, if we were doing a Mythic Plus, it'd definitely be good to have him. I'm going to try to pitch him get into YouTube, honestly. I'm going to talk to him about that.
You're gonna be roadkill.
Shockwave.
You definitely want to pull these together, by the way.
Yeah, you're right.
They both need to die at the same time, so. As someone who had no idea about anything in golf, I do enjoy watching it every now and then. The thing I like the most about golf, besides, like, I mean, I like playing golf regardless, obviously, but the thing I like as a concept with golf is, like, the fact that it takes place outdoors in, like, a pretty serene environment, like, no matter what. Like, even, like, the most, like, rowdy golf environment is still going to be, like, in a pretty serene environment compared to, like, I don't know, like, freaking, like, I don't even know what other activities you would do, but either way, that's what I always love the most about golf, just kind of like being outdoors and enjoying the nature of golf. And I think, like, even if you don't golf, you could enjoy that part of it, you know, because I think all of us nowadays, we don't get out enough, you know, we spend so much time indoors.
I really enjoyed my time out there the other day. I really, really did. But it was hard on me.
Yeah.
Still recovering from it.
Yeah, nowadays, the thing that's the best for me for golf is it's basically, like, everything that's good about WoW, but also with physical activity. So it's, like, really scratching the same mental itch, but also getting me a little bit better health-wise.
Was gonna ask if that guy who died on the boss was my fault, but
Oh, the player? No, he got hit by a frontal. You're moving again really redundantly and moving him around a lot, but at the end of the day, that guy needs to recognize that fact. The like the male guy of the two he does a frontal, so just try to move him constantly. Yeah, there's a mutual fan of all three of us, it seems. Here, Siler, if you ever manage to contact Blizzard, tell them to make a rocket chicken mount from Mechagon. I don't know how many people would have that kind of pull, even if they were in good grace, but Tubb says, Blizzard doesn't like Siler. A GM nearly made him permanently quit the game. Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Interrupt. Interrupt.
He basically got told by a GM that something that happened didn't happen, and it was really
oh, I remember that.
Not acceptable, honestly, from a customer support standpoint.
Yeah,
these people are not supposed to be doing what they did in this. It's just really silly. Guy was having a bad day or something, probably, but
yeah, that's no excuse though.
Came at the wrong time, one way or the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interrupt.
Do I want to get... No, I don't think I want to get that scrap bot.
Shockwave.
I'm going to get it anyway.
Yeah, the question is, do you want to fight it during the boss, or do you want to fight it now?
Shockwave.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's gonna that's where one of the pylons are, so somebody's going to run over there.
Yeah. I realized that as I was pulling these two, and I'm like, nah.
Interrupt.
People do fight this trash with the boss, so not unheard of, but I would definitely recommend typically this pull alone, and then the spinny robot guy that got aggroed with 3 prior that you pulled. Yeah, it was Stromy.
What's up, Stromy?
What's up, buddy?
You challenge me, I crush you.
Oh wait, did that guy battle res him? God, Jesus, man, people are so weird.
AOE incoming. Pepsi. Target you.
Clearing the area.
Except says this Frosty K is letting the side down. Yeah, that's the guy who just battle res the Demon Hunter on trash when we have 3 monks
Help sync.
on a tyrannical week.
Target you.
You have 0 seconds to comply.
Why?
AoE incoming.
I like spinning it too. Like, you have 0 seconds to eat pie. That's tough, right? Think
Yeah.
about eating pie in 0, like, holy, that's tough. You have to jam the whole thing in your mouth, and sometimes like pie crusts are like really dry too, right? So you, I can't even imagine.
Help sync. Target you.
You have 0 seconds to comply.
So it says if I ever got to have any pull of Blizzard, my first move would be getting low drop chance rares to not have 15 minutes to 2-hour respawns.
Yep.
Oh, do you mean like you would make them have instant respawns, or you would not have that wide variance in the 15 minutes to 2-hour part?
Target you.
I think the wide, getting rid of the wide variance is much more fair.
Right. They'd be near instant, so it says, okay. Yeah, I like the concept either way, because if you only have the one chance to get an item, I don't see why you have to also wait for the thing to respawn, you know? Seems kind of silly. Wide variance and spawn time is the worst for things that are 1 to 3%, Tub says. And I think that's like that with Shav, whatever, anger or fear. Or
Oh yeah,
whatever
he's the
it is.
only Pandaria world boss that has that variance in their respawn time,
Yep.
and it's just weird.
Especially because the rare, the insanely rare drop chance, right? Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Shockwave.
Come on, get out of the.
Yeah, here's a good topic I always like discussing, especially with the Mount guy. So he says make less recolors. So then the question to me now is, if they were to make, so do you as a mount collector, do you like having more recolors, meaning there's more mounts to collect in the game, or would you rather have less mounts and thus every mount be unique? Because they're not going to be able to just make that. If they can't make 300 mounts if you want 0 recolors, right? Like, there's just going to be way less mounts in the game if you do that. So
Yeah, I'd almost rather have more unique mounts, you know?
yeah, so less mounts total, but more unique ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shockwave.
'Cause I don't really go for mounts, but at least for transmogs, I would take recolors all day. You know what I mean? Like, because then that means you have more combination potential with transmogs.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of cool transmogs out there that I like, but I'm like, this color scheme I'm not really into right now. You know?
Yeah, I get you. Mounts are a little different for me, you know?
Shockwave.
Because it's not something you wear 100% of the time,
Yep.
you know? Let's see, how are we doing? 90? Okay, we need to go and get some stuff in here.
For me, a mount gets its meaning from how it's acquired more than what it looks like. That's
Yeah.
Bradley's comment. That's a good way to look at it, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like that idea too. Good ring, monk friend.
Which one?
Does it matter?
Well, if it wasn't you, I guess it doesn't. If you can't tell, does it even matter?
Nope.
What is going on with these mobs? So I says that was the same for him for a long time, but now that there's so many, he finds it's more about the visuals.
Initiating hostile action.
Yeah, I get that. The number it has become hugely more important for me too. But when I think about it, if those were the two choices and somebody was making a new game, you know, I would probably say keep the mounts unique.
Like, for me, I think the solution here is to not make mount collecting such a thing. Like, I don't think mounts should be this rare, and I don't think there should be, like, people who farm them all day, every day, and still don't get them, you know?
Yeah,
I'd rather it be more like transmog. Transmog is like the perfect collection activity to me because there's a million fucking transmogs, but you can get pretty much every one in the game within a couple weeks of you trying. You know, like it's not going to be something you're farming at transmogs for years, like mounts.
Yeah, especially because a lot of transmogs aren't, you know, monk specific or death knight specific. They're armor class specific.
Right. Yeah, and so Meryl does accurately point out that there are some that are really, really hard to get, but that's mostly just because they're BOEs. Like, it's not that the transmog is hard to get, it's just that the item is hard to get, so... Oh, whoa, holy fuck. Oh, that actually teleports him up here, wow.
Yep.
I did not know that. Okay, I was gonna say you just fucked your key. That's interesting.
No, I knew that because it's happened to me before as a Windwalker.
Oh, fun. Okay, I had no idea. Anyway, Tub says, I won't be playing the game right now. I wouldn't be playing the game right now if it wasn't for mount farming. I would have waited until pre-patch, yeah. Yeah, and he also said before that he's kind of disappointed that Dragonflight is going to potentially take you know, the mount farming aspect out of the game, because there's not really going to be mounts.
Defensive.
Yeah, I think they're doing what you suggest, which is they are making the mounts essentially the mount collecting transmogs in Dragonflight, right? You're collecting all the different appearances for your dragon riding mount.
Yeah, I love the concept, but I'm only ever going to use the one as soon as I get it. I don't really like the whole like mount thing. It's just not for me for some reason. I just don't really identify with it. I pretty much only like mounts that like fit a theme, and that's it.
I get you. I'm kind of like that, only the reverse. I really don't like mounts that have certain body types. Like...
Oh, wow, you're really using strong words there.
I'm not a fan of Proto-Drakes or, like, the Cloud Serpent mounts.
Oh, that's so cool. Sai's got a great idea that I guess he thinks is what Tub's original idea. He thinks that dragon riding customization should have an option where you could randomize it every time you get on the mount. That would be actually really cool. You should definitely suggest that, dude. That's something I can see them do.
Yep.
For sure. That probably wouldn't even be that hard to do.
They've already got a custom random mount thing.
I guess the difference is it's not... You have to go to a certain place to change the appearance, so maybe it wouldn't be as easy, but... I used to only like mounts that fit a theme and collected them just for the number, but since using a random mount every time I mount up, I found out a lot more that I like. Yeah, that's cool. Meryl's actually mad at you now because she believes Proto-Drakes are really cool.
Yeah, I mean, to each his or her own, right? But I just, to me, that... I never quite liked... They just looked wrong, you know?
Well, it's going to be a tough expansion for you then.
Well, luckily, a lot of the Proto-Drakes are enemies, so...
That's true, actually. Yeah, the main boss is going to be a Proto-Drake, seemingly.
Boy, the reinforcements!
So we see how horrible having a death here is. It's actually so bad.
Yep.
We didn't even come close to one phase in that. That wasn't even close. 30% left. Wow. Meryl says, I love them, though I wish they didn't have the tiny arms and their wings were more like arms, like birds. Gotcha.
Stay away from lines.
Tub says, the Catastone Drakes were always my favorite. Yeah,
Yes!
I actually agree. The Catadrakes are the best ones because that's when they start becoming a little bit higher quality as well. Like, the original Drakes were, like, kind of low quality. I wish that all the Drakes in the game had the Cata rig to them.
Yes. 100%.
Now that there's an even new one, obviously that opinion's going to be updated again now, but...
For sure, for sure.
Stay away from lines.
The Anax mount, yeah, you remember that one?
I still don't have Anax.
Oh, Sai's got a guide on it, buddy.
Sai's got a guide on everything, buddy.
What's up, guys? Tyler here.
Another
With another
guide,
guide for you.
Yeah.
Stay away from lines.
Alright, 3 guys left, and it's just the monks. We don't need other classes in this key. 3 monks, all we need. Yeah, I'd love to see the Drakes updated too. What I think what's probably going to happen, since obviously we're going to have dragon riding with the Drakes, they'll probably start making actual Drake mounts at the end of the expansion, I think would be the play. You cannot get by that, by the way, dude.
I
do that all the
know.
time. That's not possible.
I'm so bad. I realized
Just
I
pay
was
attention. Just look at the screen. You
I
cannot go
realized
by
that a
that one
mistake
to the right.
as it was happening.
Yeah, that's like a huge mistake too, because there's only 3 people here, so you really need to get up there and get this going.
I used to have a weak aura that told me the percentage
Percentage of what?
of the thing that we're doing up there.
Oh, the hacking or whatever?
Yeah. Going to Zao, get him!
He's gonna get him. Okay.
You will pay for this.
The DK turned the easy double upgrade into a single, but we see the primary problem with deaths in this key, and that's what we want to avoid.
Gotcha.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
Let's do it for real now.
Yep, this is it. First 20 coming up. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Be right back.
I'm just going to let it teleport me to the graveyard so I can calm down. I mean, I can probably get out before it teleports me. No, Z, I really don't have a favorite mount. I have a list of favorite mounts, and a lot of my favorite mounts are, oh, I love this mount because of how I got it. You know? Thanks, Ghoulish. You can click the tower and see the energy.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles, like you.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back. I am listing the group.
Smart. So yeah, just keep those stress levels low. It's easy, very, very easy dungeon. Even with that last group making a lot of mistakes, we had no problem. Just get in there and make, you know, the smooth decisions every time, and we'll be in good shape.
Double
I would
Druid?
definitely recommend. No, definitely don't take a Druid healer. Definitely recommend the yeah, take that guy.
And we'll let this guy go and find a different key.
Rogue would be a good pick too.
Yeah.
Basically, whatever you can take that has bulk, and especially now that we have Bloodlust, definitely don't take any hunters. No hunters or priests for this last slot.
How about a lock?
Yeah, looks like a good option. This is a great comp. Balanced Druid 2 is going to be really useful for this dungeon. Of course, he's not going to have trees, but Wild the Hunter hate? No hate, just they're squishy. We want classes that can survive with mistakes happening. And this is pretty much as good as you're going to get, minus, like, I think Paladin and Demon Hunter is slightly better, but Rogue is really, really good for the last boss. Because that last boss is so dangerous. He puts this magic debuff on people constantly, and the healers has to basically just get through it. Like, it's one of the hardest fights to heal in the game. But yeah, this comp is going to be really good for surviving that. Hunter has, like, no real... They don't really have any good option at the end there. Any questions about the last run you did? Like, anything you think you need input on?
Yeah, I think I did pretty decent, honestly. There were a couple of things, but I think I realized my mistakes as I was making them.
Yeah, I can't really even think of anything that I would say. I think there was one time when you, like, hold... Yeah, I guess it was just that robot, that spinny, no-headed robot thing. That was the only thing, yeah. Just gonna grab him when we get the pack that's right in front of him, and that's it.
As soon as my druid gets here, we'll do a ready check /RC. /CD10.
Yeah, make sure it's in that order, too. You don't want to count down for the ready check. That would really confuse people.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, look at that guy's got that mount, man. I would literally pay for... Well, I guess I can pay for that mount, but not 10 million gold. How much would WoW tokens be for 10 million gold? It would be like thousands of dollars, right? Because I think each WoW token is, what, like 200k right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's $20 for 200k.
What mount do you think costs millions of gold? Like
The mount, the ZG Tiger.
Oh, that was the ZG Tiger? I thought that was one of the jewel crafting tigers from Mop.
Nope.
Okay. That was the original ZG Tiger.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, I need to buy at least 50 WoW tokens. So 50 times... Yeah, it'd be $1,000. I bet you'd probably need more than 50 WoW tokens. And I think there's even a cap. I don't even think you can buy 50 WoW tokens. Alright, here we go.
Please get off your auction house mount.
And big thing to remember is that this is no different than the keys we've been doing. It's not really even any harder. So just don't, you know, don't do anything that you wouldn't normally do. The bosses will be harder, but it's going to be mostly on the DPS and the healer to do all the hard part of the bosses.
A power node must be located.
And I would definitely recommend trying to grab this first bot here because this is like, nobody else is going to pick it up usually, and it's a defensive bot, so. Makes your life a lot easier if you can pick it up.
Systems
Shockwave.
protocol activated.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes it'll get aggroed anyway. Sometimes a lot of things can get aggroed.
Shockwave.
Probably use Trinket when you're low. Don't forget about that Trinket. That thing is overpowered. That's like one of the best defensive trinkets they ever put in the game.
I don't even see a
Somebody
bot.
grabbed it.
Yeah.
You gotta grab it while you're fighting the pack. But all good. Alright, so now we're gonna get the get over there quickly and get him before he pats away, and then throw something at the no meeting slime, and then pull that into the mini boss. I definitely recommend using a Chi Wave to pull more too. I see I almost never do it.
Charging. Move.
We have to establish threat on the slime elemental.
Run.
Good, and we're dispelling ourselves here. Whenever we fight a gnome eating droplet, that's a really good time for leg sweep for the future pulls.
Sanitation required.
Charging. Move. Run.
Error. Mobility compromised.
Yeah, I'm so used to using that in
Massive toxicity level detected.
Charging. Move.
conjunction with my expel harm.
What?
Chi wave.
Yeah, that was not really good. Not a great macro you made there. Very, very, very different spells. Be like combining keg smash and roll or something. They couldn't have two different use cases.
Assistance protocol activated.
Alright, so let's grab the toxic monstrosity while he's padding near us. Good. This is a much easier pull now. And then when the no meaning slime starts splitting, we're going to use leg sweep to make sure the healer doesn't get all the threat on it.
Run. Dispel.
Okay, it's not that big of a deal. Just go back to targeting the lurker.
Mobility compromised.
Try not, if you ever are fumbling around with getting stuff, just don't try because you're taking a lot of extra damage there where you're not actually using any globals.
Dispel.
Error. Mobility compromised. System restored.
Okay, left side, there should be a couple bots here. That bot there, yep.
Charging. Move. Shockwave. Interrupt.
Assistance protocol activated.
Okay, so pull the lurker, the slime elemental, and the other no meaning slime for this pull. Don't pull the boss, the main boss. Oh, that's fine. Just stick with these three now. That's fine.
Charging. Move.
Then we can do the one slime and the one mini boss. That's the next pull. Somebody will probably pull the Dreadlord.
Sanitation required.
Run.
Error. Mobility compromised. Sanitation required.
Run. Shockwave.
System restored. Moving to contamination site.
Alright, so on the boss, just make sure you don't stand so close to him and just try not to have any redundant movements, and this is a super easy fight. Make sure you're close enough to be in melee range, though. You're not getting melee. Good. Pretty much have, yeah, right on the edge of the red reticle thing.
Mobility compromised.
Dispel. Watch your step.
Error. Mobility compromised.
Special
Toxicity
coming.
levels rising.
Dispel.
Can that actually be dispelled? I never noticed that.
I think it's a disease or a poison or something.
Yeah, it's like the cursive makes it look like it can be dispelled. I guess I never noticed that.
Watch your step.
Error. Mobility compromised.
Alright. Easy. Now we're going to go to the middle and pull the two robots at the front.
With that creature neutralized, I can deactivate the node.
And down 3 to go.
Yeah, luckily all the bosses in here are very easy for the tanks, so... Not much to the rest of this.
Proceed with
Just
caution.
gotta... It's gonna be on the group, really.
Mane appears to be changing course.
The group seems competent.
Yeah, they seem great. So far, so good.
Run. Run.
There appears to be a power node within the vicinity of the scrapyard.
Really, you don't say.
What have we here?
Interrupt.
Must be
Yeah, soon you'll be able to move that with the base UI. That's gonna be a good feature.
Run.
What's that? That
The
we'll be
talking
able-
head box can be moved now
yeah.
with the new UI.
Oh, yeah,
Alright,
yeah, yeah.
careful about backing up here, dude. Don't back into the trash. Right. Now, if you throw a ranged spell at those mobs, you can pull them, but just don't run over to them. Okay, they'll come to you now. Just get thrown on the Dreadlord while the rest come in.
Don't die. Don't die.
Correct. Yeah, see now how they all funnel over here because they have no choice but to. So that solves that problem we had in the previous attempt.
I'm getting like cottonmouth at this point.
Yep. Just stay calm. Like I said, this is no different than every other junkyard we've ever done. It's not any harder.
This guy. And then once he's dead, we'll go get that other pack of 2 there.
Yeah, next will be the other two.
AOE incoming. Shockwave. AOE incoming. Shockwave.
That guy rooted the pat. That's interesting. I didn't know you could even do that.
AOE incoming.
We'll go get the mini boss, clear the room. By then, my CDs will be up again.
Yep, this next pack is insanely dangerous, even on Tyrannical, so make sure we're using, well, we just use all of our CDs, it looks like, unfortunately. Okay, but we do have Fort Brew at least, so make sure you lead with that. No, dude, just go in there and fight it. You don't need to pull it at range. Go over there and fight the trash. Okay, use Fort Brew, good.
Watch your step.
Move out of the Shadow Eruption.
Watch your feet.
Go and use whatever Celestial Brew. Good. Try to dodge the fire swirls. That's really bad. Oh,
Watch your step.
good Link. Move out of the swirl.
Good Link, Rusty.
Yeah,
Killing
that's
it.
That Link saved the key right there. That's how powerful that spell is.
It's insanely powerful. I recognize that for sure.
Yeah, especially in 5 minutes, because in raids, like, usually when somebody's low, everybody's low, but in raids, it's oftentimes just... Hold on, wait for the group to finish the trash, dude. You don't need to rush into these packs.
I thought the trash was done.
Nope, they were still fighting the guys that were sliding around.
Shockwave.
It's one of those need to recognize when you can move on type of things.
Well, it's not a bad option. I'm probably being overly critical of it. They were close to being dead. It's not like we made some massive error there. It was just... I don't want the group to get tilted, you know? I'm trying to think about it in multiple directions here.
Yeah, I get you.
Because those mobs are kind of a pain as DPS. They don't really do anything to the tank, so it's easy to just ignore them.
Shockwave.
And next is boss.
Yeah, we go boss now, yep.
Interrupt.
Ah, crashed them! Let's paint the pavement red!
Charging. Move.
Yeah, so for the first like 30 seconds, you won't be able to attack anything but Trixie. He'll do, I think it's 2 charges, and then he'll come off the mount. Already seen somebody get hit by the wall, and that's scary.
Hurry up and juice my
Okay, here he comes. So now we switch to him and keep them together. Move him over. Move him over. Good.
You're gonna be roadkill!
Shockwave.
Dodge the frontal.
Shockwave.
This group is doing a superbly good job.
The frontal is called Bolt Buster. Whenever you cast Bolt Buster, he's going to do a big frontal, okay? So make sure you're moving out of that.
Charging.
Hit by it twice on this pull. A little early on the kill there. Hopefully that's not an issue. Now we're good. Plenty of time. Okay, cool. So now we're getting the 3 robots here. So you're going to get these 2 and get threat on them, and then just go right to the 3rd one.
Disable the node.
You got to get threat on them, though. You got to kick smash things. When we're going through packs, you always kick smash.
Proceed with caution. Mechagon's war machine appears to be
Interrupt.
changing course.
Run. Run.
And then these mobs do not have threat, so we can just mount up and ride right by them. Go right to the shaman. We want to get on that shaman as fast as we can. We want to interrupt the shaman's cast at all times if possible, and we have a lot of good options to do that as a monk.
Power node within.
Don't let any cast go off.
I doubt they will relinquish it willingly.
Interrupt.
First one kicks Stone Skin, good. Next one we'll use AoE stun on. Stun it? Oh, somebody else got it, okay, good.
Shaman is getting deleted.
He'll be fine.
Interrupt.
Okay, good. What the hell was that? Somebody aggroed something. Oh, a Dreadlord, okay.
Shockwave.
Didn't even know there was a Dreadlord over there, actually. Alright, we can take it to the next Dreadlord. That's fine. Move to the left. Behind you now. Oh, okay. They did it for us.
Interrupt.
Another shaman in the pack, though. We need to get threat on it.
Shockwave.
Ah, shaman. Come here.
Okay.
Interrupt.
Kick that. Good.
Nothing here.
We
We
just
can...
got loot. Grats.
How?
And they didn't. You press like page up or something and you went all the way to the beginning of the chat. Okay, grab that scrap bot, malfunctioning scrap bot, and these 3. And these mobs we want to kick the enrage, but there'll be a bit of a feeling out process because we have obviously other people who can kick it too. We just want to make sure we don't all kick the same one. There's going to be 2 casts. This mob is really dangerous when it enrages.
Shockwave. Interrupt.
Okay, good. We got them all.
Shockwave.
Crap. I got to avoid that better. Come on, cop.
No, you avoided it. You got hit by the headbutt. That's the knockback. Frontal, you dodged. Okay, so here we're going to tank him over by that robot. Yeah, you actually did that last pull really well. Tank him right on top of this robot, so the second he goes out, it just instantly gets it.
AOE incoming.
And every time he does the blue circle around you, have 1 defensive ready. So the first one's coming up. We'll use Trinket first. Oh, you already used it. Okay, okay. Celestial Brew will be good for it.
Help save.
Perfect.
Target you.
Good. And see the robot goes immediately, and he stops them coming out of the cave.
Nice.
If you can get it early, it will stop the mobs from scattering, and they'll die a lot faster.
It's kind of what I was thinking by having him here last time. You know, like just...
Now we need to go find him where he is, though. No, he come back to us. That's funny. He's just standing there waiting for us again. He's a good guy. He's a good fella, I'd say.
Gotta like that robot.
He's a great guy, yeah. You have 0 seconds to comply.
Target you.
You have 0 seconds to comply.
AOE incoming.
I did not get my...
Nah, don't worry about it. Just doesn't matter.
Just live. Just live, cop.
Yeah, you're gonna do that. You don't think you've even taken damage yet.
Help save. Target you.
Look at that Spirit Link. All the stars are aligning in this dungeon. We got players who know how to play their classes. Crazy.
It's like you set it up to have people here who would know what to do.
No, I
Only
didn't
had
do
them
anything.
apply.
Maybe there's somebody from the stream, but I didn't.
I will deactivate the node. Move.
Alright, so now we're going to last boss. We got a lot of trash we still need, though. Actually, no. Yeah, because these people pulled a bunch of extra stuff. That's right. Alright, good. So we don't even have to pull any extra trash. We can just get the stuff in the middle, and that'll be it.
Exemplary work. With the power nodes inert, the machine will return.
Do kind of
No,
like that
Don't go
that wheel.
Don't go that way. Don't go that way. What'd you say?
I do kind of like that wheel mount,
Oh, okay.
but I
Initiating hostile action.
don't know if I like it enough to have it as one of my random mount selections, because that's what I use, is a random mount key.
Good.
Shockwave.
Okay, this should be count. Actually, it might be like 1% short. I can't remember how much this pack gives.
You will be neutralized.
Looks like a dangerous pack, so we're gonna use.
It's not really. There's no dangerous packs this week. This is like the easiest trash week in the game.
Shockwave.
I meant for me. My
I
newbiness.
meant for you too. I meant for you too. This is as easy as any dungeon could ever be.
Shockwave.
Don't get hit by the rapid fire. That's it. It's a comment. I'm surprised to hear. Random mount is nice, but it always gets stuck on the same 2 or 3 mounts. What?
I have noticed something to that effect, but
Really?
Kill the boss and go get back at the last 2.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. Get that later.
Excellent. Target practice.
Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines. Defensive.
Good.
Reinforcements to these coordinates.
I wouldn't ring these so early either, by the way. We want to wait until that's it. We actually have people. Wow,
Stay away from lines.
he rooted him.
A druid using
Oh
roots?
my god, dude! I don't know if I've seen that this season. That's impressive. Kind of sad that I'm this impressed with using basic spells, but that's what this game has turned into. That's like the get out of jail free card if you have a druid. Because then the mobs don't move. That is useful.
Stay away from lines.
Okay, on our way. Slow and steady, just get up there and click it as fast as you can, and then we'll back down and we're going to pop all of our offense on the boss, and hopefully one phase that we do have Bloodlust.
Not only that, we have good DPS. You know what the hell they're doing.
I think so, yeah. The DPS hasn't been crazy, but it's been good. No real mistakes. Do we even have a death? No, 0 deaths. Wow, this is... Okay. Go up there, go up there. It's close. Okay, it's done. Let's see that one phase.
I mean, if you were going to save your DPS for one thing...
Oh, we're doing it. Okay, good. That was close. The start was sketchy, but yeah, I guess Balance Druid takes a while to get going.
They ramp with
Yeah,
Kenoke
they
and stuff.
ramp. That's it. Oh, there you go. Did you triple upgrade that?
No, not yet.
Oh, we
still
don't
need
have
to.
count. Shit. Forgot about that.
It's okay. We'll get it with...
Not over yet, Sai.
Double!
It's over. Double upgrade the first 20. Now, it's a joke. Yeah, obviously, I know people are... Jelly haters are going to come out and say that, but this is a hell of a moment, guys. I really want to congratulate Cop. Like I said, only about 4 weeks ago, it was to the point where he was scared to tank even a 15. And this is a big moment because this is going to make him a better player. It's going to make him more confident. It's going to make him, you know, in all ways, just improve at this game. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, Cop. I know you're very happy, but
I'm almost getting teary-eyed, let me tell you. This is insane. I can't even speak. I literally can't. I could never... I didn't think I could ever do that as a DPS a little while ago, okay?
Right, yeah, it's also Cop's first 20, even as a DPS, so...
Like, that's... My God. Guys, I gotta say, look, and I say this a lot, but it's 100% true. If I can do this, you guys can do anything you set your mind to. You really can. There is no limits to where people can push in this game. And this is the perfect example. I am a Venthyr monk. I'm playing a spec that I've never been able to play before. And I just upgraded a 20 and got a portal. Thank you, Metro.
My true pleasure, man. My only goal ever on YouTube and on the internet in general has just been helping people. And there's nobody that I'm happier to help than you, man. You deserve it. And like a lot of people are saying, dude, you're better than you think you are. I think this series was an exercise in that. We really just didn't believe in ourselves for a long period of it, and even recently, literally in the last episode I published, you made statements and actions that you didn't believe in yourself. So
Yeah.
it's just about that confidence, and I think this is true for every single person on the planet. Myself included. Every day I wake up, I just need to be confident in what I'm doing. And just when you're not confident, you're worse. No matter what, even if you're very good, you can be one of the best basketball players, and you'll be LeBron James. But if he's not confident, he's not going to succeed. It's surprising how much our mind has control over our body. I think a lot of people probably don't explore that interaction very much unless you start doing things like World of Warcraft. I've talked a lot about it with golf as well. Things that require both your mind and body to be in unison. And WoW is definitely maybe not the most prolific example, but it is one of the better examples that I've ever seen. So once you're able to just wrap your head around the mentality that you need to take into difficult content in this game, it becomes a lot easier. And you see, that level of confidence now exuding from Koplik.
Oh.
He's transformed. Honestly, within a 4-week span, he's really transformed as a player. And again, this is going to help him become a better player moving on. Even if he doesn't tank and continue to tank a lot going forward, it's really important because when you're kind of just following the leader and going from point A to point B as DPS all the time, you don't really properly learn and you don't gain the confidence that you need to make big plays. But when you tank and you see that unfold, you start to realize I can do something that can really impact my success rate here. I'm not just another person in the group. I can actually carry. And that's, all I've ever been trying to help people see, because the game itself is really not that difficult. Truly, only you need 1 or 2 great players in any key to succeed. And if you're just confident enough and don't let, kind of mistakes creep into the game where the game doesn't present them, the sky's the limit, honestly.
Anything is possible. It really is. I cannot express the literal physical feeling of like 50-pound sacks of flour falling off my shoulders, guys. You really can't. It's. I came into today thinking, oh crap, I'm gonna screw up. I'm going to tank my key. We're going to spend time building it back up to 20, and then I'm going to screw up again. But no. We got her done.
Yeah, you see, I knew that was going to be in your head, too. And that's the thing. Like, I'm going to tell you this. Like, this is the best example I can give. If I go up to the tee box on golf, and I convince myself that I'm not going to hit a good shot, I will not hit a good shot. There's no way around it. Like, it's too important. You know what I mean? You cannot convince yourself that you're going to play poorly and do anything but that. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize this, because in WoW it's just as true. If you put extra stress on yourself and your brain chemistry is in a state that you're constantly fighting your own brain chemistry to stay alert, then you can't possibly succeed. You've convinced yourself that it's difficult, and it's not, and there's no way to overcome that. And this is why I wanted to do this series so much. When Cobb said this, he was interested in doing this, I didn't necessarily want to do it as my primary goal to help him, because I do want to do that, but I did want to help others too. Because I think once people see what he's been through and what we've done together, you will start to understand that it's really just mind over matter. Yeah. And this season is certainly easier than many in the past. I don't expect the 20s in Dragonflight to look like the 20s right now, certainly not Junkyard. But it doesn't really matter, because it's just a number. And the game is not set up to stop you. It's not. It's set up to help you. The game has everything you need in it to succeed, and you just got to climb that ladder. And, obviously right now in Keys, a lot of the times the people are what makes the game hard. The game itself is easy. And if you can put that behind you and bury that properly, then you'll be surprised at how much the game itself does not hold you back. So many people seem to make excuses about things, but they're all either in your head or in the community. And I think a lot of people seeing what we see here today are really going to, it'll be clear. It'll now be clear to them that they have everything they need, and the game gives them everything they need to succeed in it. And all you need to do is just find the way, find what that looks like to you. it's not always going to be the same for every player. And it's not, especially if you have like anxiety and you're stressing out and you're making it harder for yourself. You gotta think about that in your own way. And you know, obviously, all of us have that battle to fight. But I couldn't be more proud of Cop Man because he really overcame it.
But guys, 3 years ago, I regularly, several times a day, would refer to myself as the worst player to ever play the game, the most casual player to ever play the game, and that was really how I saw myself. And I went up and down from that in my raiding career, and I'd never thought of 5-mans as something I could even do, really. Like, even a couple of patches ago, I was a 100% a carry in any 5-man I went in, even if I didn't think I was. And then this patch, I started actually pugging and pushing the pugging as a Windwalker, and I started having some success, and I felt good about it. And that's when Metro came to me with this series, and we were like, yeah, you know what? If I can push myself as a Windwalker, maybe it's time to get over this stigma about tanking that has been killing me since Eternal Palace, you know? And I even just as a Windwalker and a person, it's been good for me. It's
freeing. It's liberating.
It is.
Yep.
Just looking at the journey I've gone over the past few years since Battle of Dazar'alor was when I really started seriously trying to become a raider. And just from there through to now, I am a completely different person. It's transformative.
It's good for every aspect of your life,
Yes.
man. It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. It's good for your soul. It's every part of your body needs this. It's something that everybody needs to not be weighed down by their anxiety and by their fear and their things that are stopping them from achieving their goals. And I know, you know, there's a lot of science behind it all and stuff, but at the root of it, you know, for the most part, it's just in your head, you know, and it's you just got to find a way to get around that in a way that's comfortable for you and take as long as people need. But it's this is like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody more nervous to do one specific thing in any activity ever. I don't think there's a harder case out there than this. Like, I really would be shocked to hear anybody more nervous about specifically what we accomplished in this. Because even like the idea of a 20 was like, you know, regardless, he's never done it on a DPS, you know, like it's something that was always stuck there, that it was like, I can't do this. He tells himself he can't do it, and then it becomes reality, you know? So now that we've overcome that, you know, it's so much less stress on your whole person.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I look at, I think one of the first things I ever said to Metro, when he invited me to the guild back in Cataclysm, I said, you know, I'm not sure about raiding because my biggest fear in the game is being the guy who wipes the group. And that's always been something that's been weighing on me ever since then. You know, I'm worried about being that guy that wipes the group and wastes other people's time, that bricks keys and, you know, causes wipes and raid. And I really came to a head in Season 1 this expansion with Sludgefist, because I was convinced that was who I was 100% of the time, and that was who I was always going to be. And I am over that now. You know, that's not who I am anymore. You gotta push yourselves. You know what I mean? You gotta find a way to find something like this in yourself and just do it. You know, just 100% do it.
It's too short, man. Life's too short to let this go on for years and years, man. That's the thing that's so emotional for me too, because it's like, man, I don't want to live my life in that state. You know, I don't want to be 40 years old and thinking, man, what did I not do with my life? You know, so this is a really weird example. We're talking about a video game, right? And it's easy to say like, wow, this is really strange response for a video game. But to be honest, dude, it's not, because this is a microcosm of life. This is why I've always loved WoW, because it's honestly the truest emulation of life that I've ever seen. And you can learn so much about yourself from just the way that the game and you interact with it and stuff like that. So Cop's learned a lot about himself, man, and I've been really, 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 it's been a pleasure to help him in a video game, but now that I know more, it's a true pleasure to be along for this journey, man. This guy is one of the best guys you ever meet in the planet. He's a much better player than you could ever imagine as well. and he deserves the success he's going to have now, because this is going to be really liberating for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you, I kind of, while we've been talking, I've kind of been forming an idea in my head. And I don't know if you think this is a good idea going forward, but here's where I'm at. I'm going to stream tomorrow. I'm going to practice, and all the keys I do tomorrow, I'm going to practice tanking. I'm going to practice tanking some keys on Tuesday and Wednesday. I probably won't stream those, but I'll probably stream practice tanking keys on Thursday and Friday. And if Mythic Plus on the beta comes out, we're going to try practice tanking those. And then next Sunday, we get the rest of the 20s. Because by then I'll have a lot of practice on all the other dungeons.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it, because it's all about reps, right? And now that you're confident, there's nothing stopping you. Like, that was a wall there that we just broke down. So, yeah, we're in good shape, man. I think the more you tank, the better you'll get at it, and the better you'll see that it's, this is an easier role at times. Like, it really is. When you're the tank, you have the more control over the success rate of the dungeon. DPS is like, you're kind of just there along for the ride. So if you have an idiot tank, you can't upgrade a key, man. It's really just true. Like, people try to debate me on this all the time, but it's like, if the tank doesn't do what he needs to do, there's no success. Like, it can't be done. So it's so much easier to succeed, especially at this kind of mid-level we're at right now. You can get even higher, dude. We can see 22, 23, 24. Like, they're not much harder. And you just got a double upgraded key. I don't know what the key is now, but, like, that's a key that... take a look, dude, because if that thing's streets, you upgrade that, too. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is where the season is at now. It's workshop, so it's harder. But regardless, it's like, that's where the season's at. You can go from double upgrading 2 keys back-to-back, and all of a sudden you have a 25 in your bags, Yeah. So it's not, it takes a little bit of luck at times, but it's really, the game gives you everything. That's all I just want people to understand, because so many people blame Blizzard, so many people blame, what's going on in the actual video game, like the code that the developers in Anaheim created, wherever the hell they are. That is not true. It's not the game. It's just either you or somebody around you. And once you can shed that, the sky is the limit. And this is a thing that you will learn in this game and take with you in real life too. It's the same way in real life. So many people get bogged down by, relationships that aren't healthy, responsibilities that they don't need to be dealing with, debt, and all these things that it's like, man, if you can just work to shed those things, you'll be surprised at how good it feels and how liberating it can feel. So I'm so glad that, this game could teach us so many lessons, and I'm just so glad that I was around for this, because, man, it's been a fucking hell of a journey, dude. I'm not going to lie about it, dude. Literally, like, 5 years ago, I don't know if I've ever, met somebody who was less confident in my whole life. And now to hear what you're saying, it's just so great.
Yeah, it's liberating. And it gives me confidence in other areas too, right? Because if there's a wall in your life that you think you can never break through, and then you break through it, everything else opens up. You can do anything. I almost feel like I could jump out my window and fly at this point. I mean, I know
man. You can. You absolutely can. There's nothing stopping you.
Rob, flying bear hard in it.
Oh, mate. No, but that's for real though. Like, I mean, because that's why I would say, when you break down the wall, you'll be surprised at how much more stuff there is behind that wall. It's the way it's going to feel now, because now that Cop's done this key, and even the keys that we did earlier today on his stream, those keys were like, they were nothing to him. You know what I mean? 2-3 weeks ago, they were the hardest keys he ever did, and now they're nothing to him. So now he's going to look at 20 Junkyard 2 weeks from now. He's going to be like, that's a joke key. And that's how the game works. It's supposed to work that way. You don't wipe to a mythic raid boss for 350 pulls, kill it, and then 3 months later be like, oh, that's still the hardest boss in the game, right? It was 350 pulls. It takes forever to beat. Then you beat it, and now you're confident that you can beat it every time. And that's just how the video game works in all aspects. A 2,500 player in PvP doesn't look at 2K as a good thing anymore. But at one point, they were stuck, they were at that rating. It's like you always climb and you always get better. And then the things behind are like drops in the bucket. But so with Cop's problem, he was so scared to start the climb. He was looking at the ladder. That's it. He was like, that ladder's, I don't know if it's for me. But once you start it, you start to realize how easy it is to climb. It's just one foot after the other. There's nothing to it. Especially this season, there's really nothing to it. So it's like, this is the game in a nutshell, man. Every part of it. Leveling, gearing, collecting, every single thing. It's just about getting in there and doing it. And I know not everybody has the free time that me and potentially Cop have to play the game, but it's not, if you're not burdened down by, you're spending 16 hours a month trying to figure out if you can even do it, well, it goes a little bit faster.
I mean, the entire game is built around the idea of progression. And I think what a lot of people lose focus on is that idea, and they start to feel like, well, I'm XYZ meta class, I should just be able to easily do anything in the game. And then they'll fail, and they'll blame everybody else around them, and they never look at making progress again, because they're so entitled to it, And for me...
That's a good point.
I always felt disentitled to everything.
The opposite. Hard opposite. Yeah.
So, breaking through that was the hard part for me, And for a lot of people, the hard part is looking at themselves and realizing what, they need to do to improve themselves first. So, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah, man. Good place to stop, for sure.
I'm so happy you guys were all here for this. Thank you for copping on by my awesome 20 upgrade stream. I'm going to be back tomorrow with some practice tanking dungeons, so take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Peace.